In the practice of mindfulness, we're cultivating a quality of attention that is quite different from our usual way of attending, which is subjective, biased, preferential, opinionated. We decide what we're interested in and what's worthy of attention. But mindfulness doesn't judge. It doesn't discriminate. It notices and feels patterns, and it cares about what is happening as it watches and listens and feels. The practice of mindfulness entrains a kind of attention that is non-judgmental, non-identified, an unbiased posture of caring attention to whatever is happening in the present moment. In other words, when our personal preferences and judgments are put aside, a less encumbered posture of caring attention can come forward. And out of this view, attention can see and feel more clearly what is going on right now. It is this posture of mindfulness that is used to investigate, to see the ways in which we create trouble for ourselves. In turn, it can also reveal possible ways of softening and soothing the suffering that is really being felt. This is Dhammavichaya, investigation, the second factor of awakening. Investigation uses mindfulness to more closely look and feel what is happening inside. And mindfulness uses the sensitivity of this instrument, of this body, to look and feel and discern what is happening right now and how best to relate to it. Mindfulness investigates. It pays careful, caring attention to specific aspects of experience. These are not necessarily the places that we normally look. It investigates cause and effect. It investigates what's called the three characteristics of existence. And it investigates suffering, the ways we create trouble for ourselves. Now, these investigations can be quite useful in daily life. For example, cause and effect. To look at, feel, and consider the results of our words and our actions makes good sense. When we've spoken harshly to someone, often we need only turn inside and feel the effect on the body and the mind to know for ourselves that we've caused trouble. The different signs may signal the effect or the impact. For example, we might feel regret, or we might notice that the body is tense or anxious, or that the breath is rough. Landing in these awarenesses, we may decide that an apology is in order, or that we need to recommit to not engage when we're that angry. This investigation invites us to drop in and feel the effect of our words and actions on our hearts and minds and bodies, and consider whether what we've said or done was skillful or not, and if it would be wise to continue or not. The second investigation is the one that Bill spoke of on Monday, the investigation into what is called the three characteristics of existence. That everything changes, that nothing lasts, be it a joyful event or a painful one. This is impermanence. We grieve when a party is over, when the honeymoon ends, when our health declines, or when someone dies. We rejoice when the knee pain or the bad mood ends. But impermanence is inherently unsatisfactory because it causes stress. This is dukkha. Our happiness won't last. Our health won't last. It will come and go like everything else. And the third characteristic is that nothing exists completely on its own, independently. We could say, all of us are a part of a radically interconnected world. The third investigation that mindfulness investigates is suffering. its causes, its effects, and the way of unbinding from it. The Buddha's teachings describe three kinds of suffering, three kinds of dukkha, and all of them are based on our aversion and resistance to change, to letting go of pleasant experiences, or to having to have unpleasant experiences, or to being with sickness, injury, loss, and the natural process of aging. Oh, we resist. We resist what is happening. And that is what gives rise to dukkha, the resistance. Either we want something other than what is actually happening to be happening, or we try to hold on to something, to freeze frame it in time, when by its nature, it's fleeting. We can't hold on to anything. So today I'd like us to I'd like to highlight the dukkha of impermanence. Now, we know this in some way already, but often don't pause long enough to really appreciate its meaning or its impact. For example, because of impermanence, our tidy home gets messy. Because it gets messy, we have to tidy it up again, and round they go. Because of impermanence, things wear out. We get bored. We buy a new iPhone, which will quickly become the old model and it'll get replaced. And round that goes. We don't bathe once and never again. It's a several times a day task to tidy ourselves up until the day we die. So why get mad? Why get bored? Why not simply notice how things really are, that they're constantly changing, and learn how to respond wisely and kindly in the moment? So often, Bill and I will say to each other, can we just hit the pause button and stay here at this age or in this moment for a little longer? It's normal to bargain. It's normal to want to hold on to the precious moments, and it's impossible. They will pass. This is the dukkha of impermanence. And it's sad to see joyous moments pass. It can also feel oppressive if we are at the helm, if we're holding on too tightly, or if we take something too personally. It can feel unfair, like life is giving us a raw deal. This is actually just us resisting reality, though. And we can learn to kiss the joy as it flies. We can learn to breathe and appreciate the fullness of whatever is happening, be it a wedding, a birth, a recovery from an illness. We can savor a tender moment with someone or savor the bite of pie that's in our mouth. We can practice noticing and appreciating something while it is here, as it is passing. This is us learning how to go with the flow of impermanence, caringly attending to the changing nature of this reality, of what is actually happening. This is wise, this is kind. We can't freeze frame a moment or an experience, but we can notice and keep adjusting and responding and wisely and kindly to what is happening. So today, I'd like to continue the investigation on impermanence, on the dukkha of change. Notice that no matter how much we want something to stay just as it is, it doesn't. It can't. Everything keeps changing. And the cool thing is that we can observe and feel this in one meditation session. Notice that no matter how well we create this kind, welcoming, comfortable starting posture of the practice, it doesn't last. At some point, it starts to fray at the edges. Attention begins to flag and wander off into some thought, or it grows casual, or the sense of care and interest of the heart kind of grows bored and cold, a little formal, maybe a little effortful, or how the body and its breathing gets tight and uncomfortable, or we lose track of it completely. This is normal. This will happen many times in one sitting if we just pay attention. And these are signs that the holding environment is fraying at the edges. And this is a microcosm of how it really is. Nothing lasts. Attention wavers, our attitude wavers, our bodiness breathing wavers. Everything's changing all the time. This is the dukkha of impermanence. And we can see and feel its effect, how it disturbs the peace, how when the holding environment begins to fragment, it doesn't feel so good. And we can use that disturbance as a sign, a mindfulness sign to reawaken, refresh, revive, reconstitute the holding environment. We can notice the fraying and tidy it up inside. This is good practice. So today, in our meditation, see if attention can more clearly notice the fraying, the losing contact with the comfort and ease of the holding environment. Notice, breathe, and deliberately bring attention back inside and reconstitute the holding environment. The holding environment is not a steady state. It has to be refreshed frequently as is needed. This is good practice. The wisdom of impermanence is that it reminds us to not fight reality, but to go with the flow and to gently keep adjusting, lovingly adjusting. It's for our welfare and the welfare of all we encounter to live in accord with this truth. So thank you for your kind attention. And let's play around with our practice and work with impermanence. All right? So if you will, kindly turn your attention to the body and open it up, make some breathing room. Help it to let go of any tension, any staleness inside. Take your time, feel where the body feels cranky and tight today, and give it the attention that it needs to feel as comfortable as it can right at the beginning of the meditation. Use whatever support you need so that the body doesn't have to work so hard to stay upright and at ease. And if it feels helpful, gently close the eyes so you can let go of the outside world and very deliberately turn the attention to the interior. And feel into how the body is breathing right now. And see if you can support the breath to begin to smooth out and come into a comfortable rhythm. And then bring forward in whatever way possible, that quality of caring attention. And let's keep feeling into a comfortable, welcoming posture. And clarify that for ourselves. This is we're feeling into the starting posture of meditation. And for the next little while, let's form the intention to begin to notice the ways in which the holding environment begins to fray at the edges, the way in which the body begins to get tight, or we lose contact with the breath, or the mind begins to wander away. And we just keep gently inviting the body, the breath, the heart, and the mind to keep coming back together and feeling into a holistic, welcoming atmosphere. Notice when the holding environment loses its relaxation or alertness, its openness and its sense of care. Adjust, readjust back into it. Notice how many times this happens in one sitting. Go with the flow and keep tidying up. Notice when you start to lose the posture of caring attention and gently invite it back in. These fluctuations are normal. Notice and adjust. And in the last few minutes of the meditation, letting go of the instruction and just coming back in and just letting yourself be and breathe. Just settle back, be and breathe. And open the aperture of attention and sense all of us sitting here with you and you sitting here with us. Each of us making room for whatever is here.